If you're just joining us, I'm just finishing up feeding our penguins right now. So if you're interested in what's going on, we're giving them two types of fish, both herring and capelin. We've gotten almost all of our birds to eat today. This is their second feed of the day. Looks like Mr. Robert is about to eat, but he's a kind of a unique eater sometimes. So these guys are about to go through their yearly catastrophic molts. I'm going to point out one of the birds that's about to molt right there. His name is Astaire. Give me just a minute. I'm going to see if Robbie's hungry. So we offer our birds food 3 times a day. Sometimes only 2 if they are not as hungry, but this is not that time of the year. This is actually the time where they're eating the most food because they're preparing for that molt. So we give them herring and capelin. Both are restaurant quality sustainable choices. Sustainable just means that the way the fish are collected, it's not harming the population nor the environment. And they're actually cleaning out the bucket today, which isn't typically what they do at the second feed. That second feed's a little bit more of a snack for them. So if you're just joining us, I'm finishing up feeding our Magellanic penguins. If you want to find a way to get a little bit more close and personal to these guys, we actually offer animal encounters 3 times a week on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Get an opportunity to meet one of our birds up close and personal. So of course, penguins are a bird, but they're a seabird. So they don't fly in the air, they fly in underwater. And they've actually learned to adapt to this by having a really cool feather structure that actually is what keeps them dry in the water. It looks like we have a bird late to lunch. Her name is Jade. She doesn't really like capelin, but I'm out of herring, so we'll see if she'll eat some capelin for us. Here, Mama. It's good. Looks like she's not going to eat that capelin, so she's going to have to wait till the next feed, but that's okay because this is the first time I have seen her out of the water today. She's having a lot of fun hanging out with her mate Skipper. So welcome to the June Keys Penguin Habitat. I'm Sarah. I'm just finishing up a feed. I did get Jade to eat that capelin. She just had 2, 3. It's actually a record of her eating capelin. She just had 7. So out of the 2 fish, herring is a little bit more fatty and it's a little bit more tasty to these guys, I think. Not quite sure. So now all of our birds have gotten a chance to eat. And I'm actually going to come back out here and do a little bit of maintenance on some of our birds' bands. What that means is they're getting close to that molt, so their flippers are starting to get swollen. And they actually replace their feathers once a year. It's pretty cool. Their skin stays dry, but that feather structure keeps them, well, their feather structure is what keeps them dry underwater. So they have about 75 feathers per square inch, and they have to go through a process where they lose those feathers. It's called a catastrophic molt. And it looks like a stare here on the deck. He's getting pretty close to that yearly molt. There's one bird that has finished his molt. He's on that far end of the habitat, kind of scratching his foot. His name is Gats. He looks really pretty. All those feathers are new compared to some of the other birds. I'll be back out here at about 4 o'clock to give these guys dinner, but it's pretty cool because everybody has gotten at least 2 fish. They're eating very well today. And enjoy the rest of your day here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. You just saw that and you're wondering what I just did after I got done feeding our birds. That's Floyd. He is getting really close to molt. We have a form of identification on our birds. And as their flippers get swollen and they get ready for that molt, their flippers kind of get pinched by those bands. So before that happens, we trim them, but now we have the fun game of who's Floyd. I know, I work with these guys 5 days a week, so it's actually not very hard to tell them apart, but Floyd is getting ready to molt. So if you look at his flippers and you kind of compare them to some of the other birds in the water, take a look at a stare here. A stare is very, 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 very close to molt. In fact, in a few days, he's going to start losing those old feathers. His flippers are about 4 times the size of what they are when they're not molting. So when I was feeding Floyd, it's my job to be the eyes and ears for these guys. I noticed his band was about to get tight. It wasn't tight quite yet. I like to get them before it gets to that point, but that's why I had to handle him a little bit. He wasn't a big fan of it, but you can see he's still on deck. He's all right with it, and these guys are very, very forgiving. In fact, Floyd has had, he had 3 herring. I forgot to mark that last one he had. So that's what's going on. It is time for their yearly molt. And if you Google or look up catastrophic molt, you will see why it looks kind of uncomfortable for them, because they prepare for it about 2 to 3 months ahead of time. Floyd's getting ready to prepare for it right now. A stare is about to molt, so he's not preparing anymore. He's just basically getting ready for those feathers to pop off. They have 75 feathers a square inch, and they replace them all once a year. Say hello? Are you gonna say hello? Say hi. That's Fisher. He's a little shy. He almost said hi to you guys by braying, but he decided not to. Enjoy the rest of your day here at the aquarium, and if you want to see these birds get fed again, that's going to happen at about 4 p.m.